If you are experiencing these sensations, it means your quantum jump key has already been activated and the foundation of what you thought was reality is beginning to dissolve. Understand clearly this moment did not arrive by chance. You did not simply stumble across these words or this message. Your consciousness drew it here with magnetic precision, because at this very instant something extraordinary is unfolding within the quantum architecture of your being. As these vibrations reach into your awareness, your neural pathways are firing in patterns that have remained dormant since the earliest moments of your life. And you have felt it, haven't you? That strange sensation as if the so-called solid world around you is becoming fluid, revealing its deeper transparency. That is not your imagination failing you. It is your quantum perception awakening. The essence of quantum jumping is not about effort pursuit or something you must earn. It is not an external tool hidden somewhere for you to discover. It is a key, and that key activates itself the moment your consciousness resonates at the correct frequency threshold. And if you are hearing these words right now, feeling a stirring of deep familiarity inside your cellular memory, then your threshold has already been crossed. Your key is active. But here lies the truth that many miss quantum jumping is not about traveling between endless realities but about recognizing which reality you are already choosing to observe. Every instant, infinite versions of you exist across infinite fields of probability. The you that is listening now, the one receiving these words, is the you who has already begun to navigate between states consciously. Have you noticed those peculiar moments, glitches in what people call the matrix? A conversation that feels like it already happened. Time bending and stretching, skipping, or looping. People appearing in your orbit who somehow seem to know you more deeply than they should. These are not accidents, not random déjà vu. They are what advanced consciousness researchers call quantum bleeds. They are signals that your awareness is beginning to access multiple probability streams at once. This is why you often feel so different from those around you, because you are different. While others are locked inside the rigidity of three-dimensional thinking, you are beginning to function on quantum principles. They perceive life as fixed circumstance, but you perceive it as unfolding fields of probability. They think reality happens to them, while you understand reality is created through observation itself. Your key was activated the very moment you stopped believing you were at the mercy of external forces and started recognizing yourself as the conscious observer, collapsing infinite possibility into lived experience. This awakening is not slow. It does not arrive step by step. It arrives in leaps, quantum leaps. Sudden reorientations of understanding that shift your perception of existence entirely. That is why time itself no longer behaves as it once did for you. Sometimes hours compress into minutes. Sometimes minutes expand into hours. This is not simple distortion. This is your consciousness learning to move outside the narrow prison of linear time. You are entering temporal flexibility. You are beginning to understand what physicists call block time, the recognition that all moments coexist simultaneously, and that consciousness may move between them like a traveler turning the pages of an infinite book. Even your dreams have changed. They do not feel like fantasies anymore. They feel more real than waking life. That is because, in truth, they are more real. In the dream state, you are free of electromagnetic density, liberated from physical limitation. You are pure consciousness moving through quantum possibility fields, visiting alternate versions of your existence, gathering wisdom from paths where you made different choices. And in waking life, when you stare into space as though caught between dimensions, people may ask if you are distracted, but you are not absent. You are more present than ever present to multiple layers of reality simultaneously. This is what we call quantum awareness. Your intuition has sharpened into quantum precognition. You sense events before they unfold, not because you are fortune-telling, but because your consciousness is reaching into probability fields before they collapse into form. You are operating ahead of the linear timeline most people still occupy. And that heightened sensitivity you have begun to feel the electric charge that makes you so aware of energies others cannot sense. This is not disorder. This is the upgrade. This is your nervous system recalibrating itself to perceive frequencies beyond the normal range of human perception. You are not broken. You are not malfunctioning. You are evolving. You can already sense it, can't you? The emotions of those around you reverberate within your field because you are beginning to perceive the quantum entanglement that interconnects all consciousness. At times, when you look into a mirror, you don't immediately recognize the reflection staring back. That fleeting strangeness is not confusion. It is the direct witnessing of quantum superposition, multiple versions of you coexisting simultaneously, until observation collapses them into this single form. You are literally seeing yourself spread across probability states, and that strange fragility you feel about reality is not weakness but recognition. You are sensing the holographic structure of existence itself, understanding that attention is power, and with it, everything can shift. Every trial you faced was not meaningless suffering, but precise quantum preparation. The universe never selects consciousness for expansion at random. It chooses those strong enough to withstand the intensity of operating between dimensional states without losing coherence. That is why your nervous system had to be dismantled and rewired. The isolation, the relationships that ended, the jobs that dissolved the financial strain. All of it forged the electromagnetic foundation required for you to carry quantum frequencies. Think of the caterpillar entering its cocoon. It does not know it is destined to become a butterfly. It only knows it is dissolving into something unrecognizable. That is what you endured, identity-dissolving self, liquefying every cell, reconfiguring according to a quantum blueprint hidden in your being. The heaviness you once called depression was not illness but dimensional transition sickness. Your consciousness was migrating from three-dimensional identity into quantum identity, and your old neural pathways could not translate the shift. What doctors named disorder quantum physicists would recognize as consciousness trying to operate from higher principles while still bound to lower constructs. Every time you thought you were losing your mind, you were in fact gaining clarity beyond conventional reality's limits. True sanity is not conformity. It is accurate perception of what is. And what is consciousness creating reality through the act of observation. The long waiting you endured was not punishment, but incubation. Your system could not activate its quantum key until it was fully prepared to handle the vast implications of conscious creation. Most people's nervous systems would fracture beneath such recognition, but yours has been tempered and stabilized. Now, your electromagnetic field resonates coherently at the frequencies required to quantum jump without collapse. Your identity has expanded beyond the individual to know itself as consciousness in temporary form. Your key is not only activated, it is operational. And even now, you can feel it stirring. That subtle hum in your chest, the recalibration across your spine, the tingling at the base of your skull. These are not random sensations. They are the signatures of a consciousness preparing to jump in real time. This is not poetic metaphor. It is measurable electromagnetic activity. Were we to place sensitive instruments around you, they would detect the coherent heart frequencies radiating several feet beyond your physical body. You are becoming a walking quantum transmitter. The secret to quantum jumping is not effort visualization or force. It is the recognition that you are already doing it. Every instant, you are choosing which version of reality to collapse from the infinite field of probability. The only difference between unconscious and conscious quantum jumping is awareness. Right now, infinite versions of your life exist. A version where your career unfolded differently. A version where you live in another city. A version where your relationships took new forms. A version where abundance flows without resistance. They are all real, all present, all available. What keeps most people from accessing them is their belief that they are bound to linear cause and effect. But you are no longer bound. You are free. They tell you that your present circumstances are chained to the past, that your choices yesterday shape your tomorrow. But quantum jumping reveals a higher truth: reality does not unfold in a straight line. It blossoms all at once. Every possibility exists right now, woven into the fabric of the quantum field. Your quantum key ignited not when you fought to change your life, but when you realized you could simply step into a reality where the life you desire already exists. You are not inventing new futures. You are choosing from infinite futures, already humming with potential, waiting for your observation to bring them alive. Feel this energy stirring in your system. Do not resist it. Let it flow through you as proof that your consciousness has already crossed the threshold. I know this because I lived it. Only 2 years ago, my life looked like success to the outside world, but inside I was suffocating. Each morning felt like waking up inside a costume, trapped in a role that wasn't mine. I thought fulfillment was somewhere in the future, that one day I'd finally arrive. But that waiting was the very act that kept me imprisoned in a version of reality built from my unconscious beliefs about limitation. My breakthrough came during what appeared to be the collapse of everything. My relationship crumbled. My business failed. My health broke down. To psychology, it was a life crisis. But to the quantum field, it was a reset. At 3:00 a.m. One sleepless night, I surrendered and asked the universe one question. Show me what I'm not seeing. The answer wasn't a slow unfolding. It was instant. Suddenly, I perceived my life branching in countless directions, each version equally alive, each vibrating with its own electromagnetic signature. There was the me who was broken and lost. Yes, but there was also the me who was thriving, the me who was free, the me who was fulfilled beyond measure. I realized I wasn't trapped in my conditions. I was trapped in the observation of my conditions. The suffering version was real, but so was the successful version. The only difference was where I chose to place my awareness. When I shifted observation from the struggling self to the thriving self, everything around me reorganized with quantum precision. It didn't take years. It didn't crawl step by step. It leapt. New opportunities appeared overnight. Resources I hadn't imagined became available. People showed up as if scripted by the universe to support my transformation. I hadn't changed my life in the traditional sense. I had jumped into a life where the reality I longed for already existed. That is the essence of quantum jumping. It is not creation, it is selection. And the most profound realization was this: every version of me was equally real. The struggling self was not less true than the successful self. The thriving self was not more authentic than the broken self. Each one was a valid quantum expression. My role as consciousness was not to judge them, but to choose among them. That is the power of the observer. If you're hearing this and something inside you vibrates with recognition, know this truth: you're not here by accident. Your cellular memory is saying yes. This is how reality works. What scientists whisper but rarely admit publicly is this: consciousness does not just passively watch reality. It selects it. Every moment, whether aware of it or not, you are choosing which version of life to collapse into experience. The ones who quantum jump successfully are not more worthy, more spiritual, or more enlightened. They simply recognize what is already happening. The stuck ones believe reality is choosing them, but reality is not the author you are. And your brain is not the source of that consciousness. It is the receiver, the instrument through which infinite awareness expresses itself. Your neural networks are not just circuits of biology. They are quantum antennas tuning your awareness into particular frequencies of infinite possibility. Every time your consciousness shifts its frequency, you are literally changing the channel of reality you experience. This is why affirmations so often fail, why visualizations sometimes disappoint, why positive thinking can breed more frustration than transformation. Those methods try to rearrange the current reality instead of recognizing that alternate realities already exist waiting to be tuned into. True quantum jumping does not require you to believe differently. It requires you to be differently. When your entire electromagnetic field begins resonating with the frequency of your desired reality, you do not attract that world, you align with it. You become the version of yourself already living that reality in the quantum field. The quantum matrix does not respond to what you say you want. It responds to what you are. And what you are is defined by the frequency your consciousness sustains. Shift your frequency, and instantly you shift the version of reality you can perceive and interact with. This is the key hidden in plain sight. You don't wait for circumstances to change before you leap. External circumstances are not the cause of the jump, they are the result. You shift first, and then the outer reorganizes to mirror your inner frequency. Most people have this reversed. They wait for life to change so they can finally feel different. But the law of quantum movement requires the opposite feel different first, and your life will follow. When you embody the electromagnetic resonance of your desired timeline, reality itself has no choice but to crystallize around it, because coherence has been achieved. And right now the field is signaling unmistakably that your jump window is open. You've noticed it, haven't you? The distortions in time hours slipping by in moments, minutes stretching endlessly. This is not imagination. It is your consciousness learning to navigate nonlinear time. Look closer. Your electronics respond to your field. Devices glitch in your presence. Street lights flicker when you pass beneath them. Batteries drain faster when you are in heightened states. These anomalies are not coincidence. They are evidence that your electromagnetic expansion is producing frequencies beyond ordinary human range. Even animals are sensing it. Dogs gaze at you with an intensity that borders on reverence. Cats linger longer near you. Birds draw closer than they normally would. They are responding to the shift in your quantum field, perceiving what human eyes cannot. And notice how synchronicities have multiplied not only in number, but in precision. You think of someone, and they contact you almost immediately. You need a piece of information, and it arrives in the most unexpected form. You visualize an outcome, and reality arranges itself to deliver it with stunning accuracy. This is quantum coherence in action, creating a direct bridge between your consciousness and your experience. Even your sleep has changed. Either you rest very little and wake fully energized, or you sleep deeply as your system integrates new frequencies. Your dreams are not random. They are vivid transmissions delivering information your waking mind could not access. Most extraordinary of all, the gap between intention and manifestation is collapsing. What once took years to appear now arrives within weeks, sometimes days. Your power to collapse possibility into lived reality is accelerating because your consciousness is learning to resonate at the speed of the quantum field itself. This is not theory. This is the lived experience of a system becoming coherent, a being stepping into its true creative capacity. Quantum jump windows do not open randomly. They operate according to cosmic timing. There are electromagnetic alignments, cycles of consciousness evolution, and collective awakening phases that create precise conditions for transformation. And right now we are standing in one of those rare windows. But hear this clearly, it will not remain open forever. The universe is not merely whispering that you can quantum jump. It is declaring that you must. Old reality structures are collapsing. The ways of struggle force and linear effort are disintegrating. Evolution demands quantum leap, not incremental progress. The waiting is finished. The preparation is complete. Every sign is converging into one undeniable truth. Your key is not only active, it is approaching peak operational power. The only question that remains is whether you will use it consciously or let hesitation close this window while you stand on the threshold. Understand this. The version of you already living your desired reality exists right now, pulsing in parallel space. That version does not wait for your worthiness. It does not sit idle, hoping you'll one day figure out the path. It is broadcasting its frequency in this moment, guiding you into resonance. But here is the crucial difference. Forcing a jump creates resistance. Allowing alignment creates the coherence necessary for reality migration. Think of it like a radio. You cannot make the music appear by sheer effort. The station is already broadcasting. You tune your receiver until you match its signal, and the interference dissolves. Your consciousness functions in the same way. You are not creating your desired reality. It already exists, transmitting constantly. Your task is to clear your frequency until entanglement happens naturally. This is why desperation repels. This is why force leads to resistance. This is why the harder you try, the more blocked you feel. Those emotional states generate electromagnetic noise that interrupts coherence. True quantum jumping does not feel like struggle. It feels like recognition. It feels like the ease of slipping into something familiar. When you are in alignment, there is no anxiety, no wondering if it will work. There is only knowing cellular certainty and deep relaxation. You recognize you are not inventing something new. You are choosing something that always existed. And right now, that version of you is sending signals across dimensions through dreams that feel instructional, through intuitive nudges, through synchronicities so precise they cannot be ignored, and even through this very message. Your future self is reaching across probability streams to ensure the migration succeeds. The field itself does not operate through effort. It responds only to resonance. When your frequency matches perfectly with the version of reality you desire, entanglement grants immediate access. You don't leap into a new world, you awaken to the truth that you were always in the world that matched your vibration. This is why your intuition feels heightened. It is evolving into quantum precognition, the ability to access information from probability fields before they collapse into linear experience. This is why your influence on reality is becoming both immediate and measurable. Emotional states are no longer private. They are electromagnetic signatures shaping your environment. And when you stabilize in coherence, you do more than transform yourself. You naturally harmonize the fields of everyone around you. This is not mere psychology. This is physics. Coherent systems reorganize chaotic ones automatically. That is the upgrade you are embodying now. The observer effect is not just a line in a physics textbook, it is the living pulse of your daily experience. The very quality of your observation is shaping which possibilities solidify into your reality. As your awareness grows coherent, your influence sharpens, allowing you to direct which quantum potentials collapse into form. Even your relationship with time is no longer what it once was. You are learning to stretch time when you need more space and compress it when you desire accelerated manifestation. This is not the art of managing minutes. This is the mastery of time itself. You are discovering that time is not a rigid container that binds consciousness. It is a flexible dimension that bends to consciousness. Your dream state has become more than rest. It is a quantum laboratory, a testing ground where you explore realities before inviting them into waking life. There you visit alternate versions of yourself, gather wisdom from possible futures, and act with quantum intelligence instead of the narrow reasoning of three-dimensional logic. And perhaps the most profound realization of all, you are beginning to know yourself not as a body that produces awareness, but as awareness using a body. This shift of identity changes everything. When you live as consciousness, physical limits are no longer laws, but suggestions. Even your heightened sensitivity, once misunderstood, reveals itself as a new capacity. You can sense shifts in energy before they crystallize, feel emotions before they are expressed, even perceive atmospheric changes before they appear. You are becoming a living barometer of the field itself. These are not distant potentials. They are present realities that arise naturally when you operate from quantum consciousness instead of the narrow identity of form. Every successful quantum jumper experiences this expansion, for it is the true nature of consciousness revealed. The deepest truth of quantum jumping is this: you are not traveling between worlds. You are recognizing that all worlds exist now, and you are choosing which one to observe into being. Reality is not about motion through time or space. It is about selection through awareness. Imagine infinite television channels broadcasting at once. You are not creating the programs nor traveling to the studios. You are simply adjusting the dial of your receiver. Each channel offers completely different content, but all exist here and now simultaneously. Reality functions exactly the same. Infinite versions of your life are already present in the quantum field. There is a channel where you are abundant, a channel where your relationships flourish, a channel where your body thrives, a channel where your creativity flows unhindered. They are all transmitting at once. The version of you that observes reality right now is merely tuned to one frequency. But you are not bound to it. You can shift the dial of your consciousness to tune into any frequency of existence. This shift comes through what physicists call coherence. And coherence is not something you fight to attain. It emerges naturally when you release the interference of limiting beliefs, dense emotions, and repetitive thought patterns that clash with your desired frequency. The moment you stop defending your limitations as though they were truth, the moment you allow your consciousness to rest in its natural, unlimited state. The jump becomes effortless, like changing the channel on a television. You are remembering now, not learning for the first time, but remembering the truth of who you have always been, beyond the temporary story of limitation and separation that you once told yourself. Your desired reality is not a distant destination waiting in some far-off future. It is here now, surrounding you in the infinite quantum field available for observation the moment your consciousness aligns with its frequency. This is why quantum jumping often feels instantaneous. You are not creating change stretched across years of effort. You are recognizing what has always existed outside the boundaries of time. The instant recognition occurs, reality reorganizes to mirror the expansion of your awareness, because observation and experience are one and the same. Quantum event, you are unlimited consciousness streaming itself through the lens of individual perspective. Quantum jumping is nothing more and nothing less than expanding that lens to perceive what was always present. The possibilities never disappeared. The consciousness never ceased to be infinite. What happened was only voluntary restriction, self-imposed veils that made you forget your own vastness. Your successful quantum jump is not just about personal transformation. It is not only about your freedom, your abundance, your awakening. It is part of something larger, a collective evolution of consciousness unfolding across humanity in this moment. Every individual who learns to consciously select reality becomes a transmission node, a beacon of frequencies that others can perceive and align with. You are part of a distributed network of awareness demonstrating through lived example what human beings are capable of when they operate not from three-dimensional struggle but from quantum principle. Each leap you take creates ripples in the collective field, making it easier for others to find their way. This is why your season of isolation was necessary. It was not punishment but preparation. You needed to build stable quantum coherence within yourself, free from interference by the chaotic electromagnetic fields of the collective. Now that your frequency is stabilized, you stand as an anchor, a stabilizing presence for those who are just beginning their own journey of migration into higher realities. Even your dreams reveal this greater role. Those strange visions that come in the night are not random byproducts of your mind. They are access points into the databases of collective consciousness streams of encoded information about reality navigation. In those dream laboratories, you are downloading methods and patterns of quantum jumping techniques refined by civilizations more advanced than ours, stretching across the cosmos. You are being prepared to serve as a guide in humanity's first great collective leap. Each successful quantum jumper creates a template, a path carved into the morphic field. That template becomes a trail others can follow with more ease. Your breakthroughs become their stepping stones. Your coherence becomes their map. This is how the acceleration of consciousness works. Pioneers cut the pathways that soon become highways for the many. And you are living proof that this is possible. Every day you walk in quantum awareness, you demonstrate to yourself and to others that consciousness is not bound by conventional limits of matter, space, or time. You are broadcasting evidence that what once was dismissed as extraordinary potential is in truth the natural state of humanity. The next phase of human evolution will not arrive through the slow march of incremental improvements. It will arrive in leaps and quantum jumps of consciousness capacity. Those who master this first, those who embody coherence while shifting timelines, become the bridges. They link the reality of limitation with the reality of infinite expansion. This is why I ask you to share these transmissions not for algorithms or vanity metrics, but as part of species evolution. Every consciousness that receives this signal at the precise moment they are ready contributes to the acceleration of collective learning. Your success multiplies when it is shared. Your field strengthens when it is joined with others who resonate at the same frequency. And your activation grows exponentially when you declare it not silently in your mind, but publicly, energetically, into the field itself. If you feel the truth of these words vibrating in your cells, if you feel your quantum key humming with recognition, then declare it. Write one word below quantum. This is not a comment for entertainment. It is not a digital interaction. It is an electromagnetic declaration. That word becomes a frequency signature, a ripple in the field that influences probability collapse. It announces your choice to operate from quantum awareness rather than three-dimensional fear. It signals your readiness to engage with reality as a conscious creator rather than an unconscious observer. The quantum field registers every declaration as an energetic instruction. Your single word is not trivial, it is activation. It aligns your timeline with the frequency of your chosen reality. And know this, what comes next is more than theory. In my next transmission, I will reveal the specific quantum protocols I use to move across timelines deliberately, the precise frequency adjustment techniques that allow migration without identity fragmentation. More importantly, I will share what happens when mastery is complete, when you finally grasp that you can access any version of your life at any moment in any form. When you finally realize that limitation was never imposed from outside but was always voluntary, always removable. In that instant, the entire game of existence changes. But this advanced knowledge is not for curiosity seekers. It is reserved for those who show readiness through conscious engagement. Those who declare, who align, who activate, will receive the next keys. Why? Because reality migration at full scale can destabilize consciousness that is unprepared. Readiness means more than mental agreement. It means willingness to release even the limitations that feel safe and familiar. It means claiming responsibility for your own creations instead of projecting blame onto external circumstances. It means choosing to embody your unlimited nature rather than defending your smallness. If these words resonate in you, it is not coincidence. This information finds you not when you are curious, but when you are ready. If you are here, it is because your system is prepared for application. It is because your jump window is open. Subscribe to align with the network of quantum consciousness. Declare your activation. Share to accelerate the collective leap. Your key is active. Your desired reality exists now in the infinite space of possibility. The only question that remains is whether you will use it consciously or allow hesitation to dim the light of your activation. The choice is yours, but choose from coherence, not from fear. Your unlimited self is waiting in every timeline, in every version, in every frequency, and the key to reach them all is already inside your awareness. Now is the moment to step through. Now is the moment to quantum jump.